Chair. Yes, thank you. It's in progress. We've had several discussions about it. It's on its way. Hopefully before next meeting, we'll have that. This is not a final draft. This is something we will present to the community for comment. But we'd like to be close to having a final revision that we can put out to the public. So we're getting close. Next meeting, we hope, we're close. You will be advised of the questionnaire before it gets distributed. We've had, Sal, you commented last meeting on traffic, right? Those were
That's
good
in
comments.
the minutes, if anybody wants to.
Correct.
See that.
I represent historic sites regarding the master plan, and we have a pretty complete component, maybe 90%. So that's good progress.
It's just about the draft form.
Right, so that's great. Zoning and affordable housing has been ongoing. Myself and Committee Sheehan and some other members of the boards have been discussing the affordable housing component, and we're compiling maps at this point. Keeping in mind here, we tried to spell this out at the last meeting. The master plan, because this part of the meeting is called Master Plan Committee Updates, the master plan is not due until 2027. That being done, it's a huge document. It's a lot of components. We need commentary from the public. We need to react to that. So we're at the beginning stages of that. But 2027, what month would you say, John? Would that fall in? Do you seem to know?
The end of the year.
End of 2027.
August.
All right, just so we know that we do have some time ahead of us. A lot of our efforts are put towards affordable housing because we have an affordable housing obligation coming up soon. And that's taking a faster track. We have some deadlines coming upon that at the end of this year. That being said, Mr. Chadwick, do you want to comment on where we are today?
Other than that is sort of detoured the discussion of the master plan, put it that way.
The affordable housing.
The homework is being done in my office, and I hope to produce what I'll call part one of the updated background studies, which will include through affordable housing aspects. The affordable housing plan, you can't really separate from the master plan because there's two elements of the master plan that are mandated. And those are land use plan and housing element. And your housing element obviously includes the affordable housing component. So those are joined together, and you can't separate them. But the way the courts have set it up, you've got to have your housing element, which includes your affordable housing component, agreed to late January last year.
January, we're still waiting for the numbers, quote unquote, and the numbers are supposed to be due from DCA by no later than October 20. So we're getting close to the deadline that DCA has to provide the numbers. One would hope that they would actually meet that deadline. They don't always meet their deadline. But the legislation, the statute requires that January 30, 2025 is when our municipality and all municipalities must adopt a resolution binding with our number. The deadline for having a full housing element and fair share plan adopted by the planning board is June 30, 2025. So those are the primary deadlines.
The time gaps assigned in the legislation, I think that the trend is going to have to relook at. It's just not doable, and what will result from it is just a lot of litigation mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But what really the bottom
So zoning and affordable housing is taking
Yeah.
is the
It was
front
a-
runner, the
One
most.
one of the more difficult things, not so much this year, but last year, you couldn't get anything out of the census bureau.
Right.
It was impossible. You think, wait a minute, it's 3 years since the census, we can't get basic.
Right, so we did this last meeting, 10/20, or October 20th, we should have a number, should. We have until January 30th to negotiate that number,
Yes.
and then we go to an appeal.
Yes.
Well, by January 30, we have to adopt a resolution as a township that, a binding resolution that sets forth our number, whether it's that number or a different number.
Mhm.
I'm not quite sure how you get a different number, but, we'll address that once we get what the proposed number is.
Right, very good, so
Yeah.
that's where we are with the master. Any other comments from the board, professionals? No, okay. The public, if anyone would like to come from the public and comment on the master plan?
Well, Mildred Foley, Mount Bethel Road. Thank you, I'm glad to see all this progress.
Good, thank you.
I'm just, and I didn't realize that we don't have to have a complete new master plan until 2027.
Just so for history, the township has taken the process, we would update elements separate, update the recreation plan was done, and open space plan was done twice in the 2010 to 2000. Land use and housing was also updated, I think it was around 14, and again, in 2017. And so it doesn't have to be one big package.
Okay.
And one of the problems of presenting a master plan with all of the elements at a public hearing, is chaos. There's just too many things. So if you don't understand it, what do? You shout at the person who's presenting it. And that doesn't achieve a whole lot.
No, but, do you have, what I'll call a project plan, I'm a project planner. Do you have a project plan that gives you, that scopes out the long-term
Sure.
plan of
So
deliverables?
that's the program. Some of the things will go ahead faster than others. And it's like, it's not a chicken and egg. The land use plan drives everything.
Especially with affordable housing knocking on the door.
Affordable housing is an ingredient into the land use plan. For obvious, you have areas set aside for, higher density housing in general.
And how frequently do you get the, school enrollment projections based on all these units that?
As they come into the town hall, we get them. At this juncture, we've got, Toll is up and occupied, we got a year in. Pulte is brand new, so you don't really get it much. It's not called Pearl anymore, it never can remember the name, across from Woodland School. Yeah, Woods at Warren. Don't have any numbers on that off the top of my head, but it's 80 units. It's not like it's gonna change the population of the school at all.
All those units at the intersection of Mount Bethel.
But they're just getting started.
But am I correct that the Board of Education is
They've reported to the
anticipating?
township, yeah, I've
The
got-
Board of Education is going to be reporting to us on future needs, so they are taking that into consideration.
And boards of education also have five-year long-term plans, which are available, to my staff and people. And that has the both current and projected enrollments. They have the same information as the town hall has, it's just the number of units when they're getting occupied. It's not like, one hand doesn't know what the other's doing.
But that's a very good topic. We have a new round of affordable housing that could throw in another 1,000 units in town. We have the last one that threw in more than 1,000 units.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I apologize for interrupting.
Yes.
Did you say that, we don't know yet what the
We don't know the
fourth round number is
We have a
going?
number coming. I shouldn't anticipate what we're going to get, but we're
Right,
having
yes.
a lot more units coming into town. Board of Ed is anticipating that burden on the school system. So that's something we should keep reporting to the public on as we gather that information.
But if you follow the Board of Education reports, you'll realize that the enrollment is going down.
It's down, yes, it is.
Well, until those units get
The
occupied.
enrollment is going down, and we've had significant development under the Mount Laurel 1 and 2. Greenwood Meadows did not exist, and now it does. 365 homes that were designed for households of raising families, 4 and 5 bedroom homes. The townhomes in Toll Brothers are 2 bedroom.
You still have kids in that.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you said two
We
bedrooms.
could speculate, sure, we have 10 kids in 1 bedroom.
Of
Of course not.
All right, anyhow.
So we'll track that. I'm very interested in that also.
Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to say, glad to see that you've got the survey, in motion.
In motion.
Would you, so I've, since February or March of this year, I've been submitting, more detailed things. Would you consider putting at the bottom of the, survey that you're launching now, a reference to an optional, if any residents wanted to answer more detailed questions, because the longer survey that I presented previously.
I have all the copies of the surveys we're considering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it goes into all aspects of the master plan, and I think it might be helpful to get input from, optional input from residents, since you have this opportunity now to poll them.
So we can discuss that. I think every resident should get the same survey. I don't know if we should give an option for some residents to apply and give additional information.
So that's not what I.
I'd rather make the initial survey longer, in my opinion.
No, I would keep the initial survey the way it is, but at the bottom say, if you prefer to have additional input, please go to our planning board website, and you can, provide input to a longer survey there.
Okay. So that,
That's all I have, thank you.
longer survey or other.
Can we give them a link if they want more information?
We should give them a link
Yeah.
to, the website, because there's good information there. And they can do their homework, they answer questions. Okay, anyone else would like to get up and speak?